Hi, welcome back. We're about to get into two completely different programs which would be along the lines of PowerPoint as well as Animoto. PowerPoint, it's a phenomenal resource for integrating different presentations within the class. Students can use it, they always love working with it. Animoto, on the other hand, slightly different. It's getting more along the lines of creating digital videos. Your students can take pictures and turn them into somewhat of a slide presentation, but it's very easy to do. You can definitely take from PowerPoint and put into Animoto. You'll get these really great videos that your students can create with a very short amount of time and very little editing. Also, phenomenal program. Thanks again.
Hey, how's it going there? Welcome back. Today I'd like to introduce you to Animoto.com, a phenomenal website for creating videos. So if you notice here, I just opened up an internet browser, and what I'd like to show you up here in the address bar is the website address. It's www.animoto.com. And here you're actually looking at Animoto. This is what the home page looks like. Before we get started, I want to show you something real quickly. Over here in the plans and pricing category, it's towards the right hand side of the page. If I go ahead and click it here, wanted to show you a little bit about this. Basically, if you had some students in class and you wanted to have them create a video, you could actually do this with this project with them for free. If you notice here, the three different plans, you've got the light, and it basically says try Animoto for free. You can make an unlimited amount of videos. The only problem with this is that your video clips can only be about 30 seconds long. That might transfer out to be about, maybe 5 or 6 pictures or images. What I actually have is, I believe, the Plus, um, uh, and I use this on a regular basis. I've also noticed that my students in class, I can have several of them logged on at the same time. I did this past summer, and I actually found that out. So they were all working on it at the same time. The pro account, I think, is more along the lines of businesses. You just get more music and you get rid of the Animoto branding that comes out at the end of the video. So now let's take a look at some videos here. This is basically a list of all of my videos. I want to show you how to basically create a video. If you notice up here on the top right hand corner, it says create video. You'd want to click on that. After you create a video, these are some of the different templates that they have. If you notice here, it says Animoto the original. This is one of my favorite ones, and most of the Animotos that I've created, I tend to go with this kind of theme here. So I would go ahead and click it, and right after that, instead of going through a preview because I already know what it looks like, I'll simply move on to create video. And I've got, that should pop up right here. So if you notice right over here, I want to walk you through a few different steps. There's photos and videos. This is essentially step 1. Step 2 would relate to music, and step 3 would relate to finalize. A few things that you'll find in each. Photos and videos is where you're going to upload any photo, any photograph, or any video. Music, you're basically going to select either from the music that they have and provide for you, or any music that you may have on your computer. After that, in the finalizing process, what you do is essentially select the speed at which you want the video to play back. You could go half speed, normal, or I believe it's 2 times the regular speed to speed it up a little bit. Also, in the finalized portion, you're able to kind of like name the project. So to get us started here with step 1, it says pics and videos. Load up your video with images and video clips. You'll have a chance to add more later. I typically from here will simply click on upload from your computer. After clicking upload from your computer, what I'm showing you right now is just a basic PowerPoint that I saved as a JPEG, and I'll review how to do that with you in just a minute. So here I essentially click the first one, then click open, and you give it a few seconds and it's processing the upload. It should take about 10 seconds. Say you want to add more. I'd come over here, click on add more, upload again, and if I wanted to kind of skip this step of having to go back and forth, you could simply click on a slide. Say I want the second slide here, and say I want the second one, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. I would click on the first one, then on your keyboard you want to hit shift and click on slide 5, then open. And what you're doing now is basically your computer is going to be uploading all of those images for you at the same time. So it kind of saves you an added step of having to go back and forth. There is one slight problem. At times I've tried to upload about 20 at once, and they don't always go through, so I'll have to go and delete those at times. So now at this point I'd simply hit done. After I hit done, it's going to take me to the next step, which is music. Here I'd like to do this for free, and if your students are going to be working with this, you definitely want to have them select from their collection here. So select from our collection, you would click that, and then it'll give you a bunch of different topics. You can go with Valentine's music, top 40, electronica, singer-songwriter, jazz, country, oldies, featured tracks, indie rock, hip-hop, Latin, classical, and even religious music, depending on what you're working with. For today's sake, I'll go ahead and go with indie rock. And after clicking on that, it'll bring me here. And if you notice, this is a really long list of a bunch of music that they have. For today, I'll be using one in specific. If you notice, to the right hand side of it, it says play, info, and select. What you want to do first off is play the music so that you can hear it. And this is basically going to be a really quick preview of the music. So you'd hit play. Sometimes that happens where the media won't load the first time around, but I've noticed that it always tends to work out the second time. And this is just a preview of the music. Let it play for a few seconds. Then you might think to yourself, oh hey, I really like that music. So now I'm going to go back and click on select. After clicking on select, I just selected the music here. Now if you notice here, it says your chosen soundtrack will appear in your video's credits. Continue. Or of course, if you click the wrong one, you can always click on change soundtrack. Here we're at the final and third step, which basically says customize your video. Here is that half speed or 2 times speed. Here you can go short or full length. If you have the free version, which would be the light, you're more than likely going to go with the short version. The full length is basically for the other 2 options that were available there in regards to how much you pay. After that, it's really easy. All you have to do is click on continue. And here I'm just going to title it, "This is a test," and add that period, then click on create video. After clicking on create video, it'll take you to this area. In the meantime, I want to bring us back for a sec and kind of show you what one video may look like. So I'm going to come over here to my videos, and let me find a decent one here. This might be somewhat relevant. It relates to copyright issues, so I'll go ahead and play this real quickly and give you an idea as to what Animoto is all about with the videos. Really good example here. And it'll take a little while to load. As it's doing that, real briefly, wanted to talk to you about a few ideas in regards to how to implement and integrate Animoto with what you're doing. Okay, so the first time around, you want to introduce Animoto, have all of your students go to the website. After that, you want to show them how to upload images the way I just did. And then also you want to talk to them about image pacing and finalizing images. After you do that and you give them the opportunity to explore with it and you get through that initial introduction phase, the next thing that I like to do is have my students create a PowerPoint. And what you're looking at here is a PowerPoint. I created it with PowerPoint, made the background with Sumo Paint, and used it throughout all of the slides. And from PowerPoint, when you save it, if you save it as a JPEG, it'll actually turn them into photographs for you. And once you have them saved as photographs, at that point in time, then you can upload to Animoto. And here's this really short video. I'll only show you a brief portion of it. And here goes. And I wanted to pause it right here. Just if you take a look, this is a slide created relating to music. When you're working with music, you can say you're working on a program like Audacity. The copyright laws say that you can use up to a 30-second sound clip or up to 10% of a song. Typically, if you're going to use more time than that, you always want to get permission from the actual creator of the musical piece. And again, always cite. And that was just a really quick review of Animoto. So I'm going to swing right out to PowerPoint here. I'm just going to open up one of my old PowerPoints so I can show you here. This is a PowerPoint that I used for a presentation in Sacramento that I gave. But what I want to show you here is the process of saving. So I would go File, Save As the regular way. Then once I'm here, I'm going to change the title name to This is a Test. This way everyone's kind of familiar with that. And after that, down here, right beneath the file name, so this is the file name, the part that's highlighted, right beneath it, you'll see that it says Save As Type. Instead of saying PowerPoint presentation, I want to change that. So I'll click on the drop-down menu, go down to where it says JPEG. JPEG is essentially a file format for pictures. So if I click on this, it's going to end up saving everything for me now as a picture. And I want every slide to be saved as a picture. So here goes, save that, and give it a few seconds so it can save. And that was it. Should have been saved for us. Click on that. So it was titled This is a Test. Let me open that up. This is a test. Here's the folder for it. And if you notice within the folder, these would be all of the different slides that got saved. So here's essentially the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth. And now this is what I would have my students upload to Animoto. So I guess to continue with this now, how do you get your students to integrate comics and Animoto and combine the two? A few ideas for you. If you had your students create a comic Animoto, or excuse me, a comic PowerPoint where they created a comic or maybe a few panels out of their comic with PowerPoint, you could have them save it as a JPEG just like this and then import it and upload it to Animoto. Okay, now let's take it a step further. What if you just wanted to present your comic creation as an Animoto? Say you had a digital camera, you could take a picture of or a photograph of every panel and then save those to your computer, put them all in a file, and upload that to Animoto. Okay, now let's talk about the very final project. The whole idea here is to again begin to informate technology and the arts here. So the goal here now would be to create a school employee showcase. I'd have my students go out and take photographs of all of the employees at our school site. After they had done that, I would have them interview um, all of the individuals that worked at our school site. Again, just a few simple questions like basically, what's your name, what do you do for the school, and maybe what's something that you really stands out about your job, or why do you love your job? Something along those lines. So my students kind of go out, they break up into teams, and they start interviewing basically everyone at our school site. And then the idea from there is to collaborate and collect all of this information, uh, put it all into a PowerPoint. So we take the photographs, we take the ideas that our colleagues have mentioned at the school, and then from there we save the PowerPoint as a JPEG, we turn it into an Animoto, and we are done. The next step from there would be to simply present it to the staff at maybe a board meeting or maybe a staff meeting, and that's essentially working with Animoto. If you have any questions, you can always Google or YouTube Animoto and find some more tutorials. I know there are a few here on the website of Animoto. Thank you again very much and have a wonderful day.
Hi, and
Bye-bye.
welcome back. So we've just reviewed a little bit about PowerPoint and Animoto. If you're truly interested, you can definitely find more tutorials on a website like YouTube, and it'll walk you through a step-by-step process in regards to how to do certain things that you may want more information about. Also, another great resource for you would be the lesson plan, and it'll give you more steps as to how to integrate more of the comic experience itself. Thanks again, see you soon.